Going on 8 weeks now. I'm gonna mark off my circle. 12 more to go. I'm gonna try to shoot all of this in one take. I usually do like 10 or 15 different videos and by topic, and then so I can organize them and edit them together easier. But I'm trying to sleep before work today, so I'm gonna try to get this all done in one take and then just edit the one itself. Because at my job that I usually work from noon to 8:30, I am working in the morning covering somebody who's on vacation. So when I go in tonight, I won't be off work technically until 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. So I want to get some more sleep in before I go to work, so I'm not fucking tired. Not a lot to report. I got a new bag for my guitar. The one that I had got peed on by my roommate's cat once upon a time. I've washed it 4 or 5 times and it still reeks of ammonia. So I figured I'd just spend some money so that when I have the bag in my car, it doesn't smell like cat piss in here. I've decided I'm gonna start growing out my nails on my right hand because I want to play classical guitar. Maybe get a new guitar. For my birthday, I'll get myself a really nice classical guitar. Nylon strings. It's different, and the fretboard's a little wider, so you can hit the notes more succinctly. But I have a terrible habit of chewing my nails. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start wearing gloves, kind of like Michael Jackson. Just wear one glove until I can break that habit. And then what people do is they'll cut them to a specific length and file them, and then polish them with a high grit sandpaper, and they'll shape them so they can hit the strings better. I've been playing guitar for 20 years now, which is fucking insane to say. And I'm really good at guitar, but I could be better. And I think the next direction I want to go into is try to experiment more with classical music, because it's, you know, it's beautiful. I'm not really concerned with like this whole fanaticism that modern people have with like playing guitar like super fast and shredding and doing sweeps, and I think all of that is just like noisy and unnecessary. I don't think it makes you a good musician at all to know how to do any of that stuff. Like technically it's good, like it's being more technical at the guitar, but it just sounds like a bunch of jumbled noise, and I have no interest in learning how to do any of that, if that makes any sense. I feel like good guitar is supposed to like complement everything else going on in the song musically. Like think of Pink Floyd, for instance. Like the guitar solo for Mother, you know, it's not fast, but it cuts deep. It's really good because it works with, you know, the build of the song, and then when it hits that climax, it just cuts you in half. And I feel like that's what good guitar is. Not like just playing as fast as you can for the sake of being like the appearance of being good. I think that's fucking stupid. Other than that, I think it was Friday night, I ended up working overtime at my job in Romeoville. I got into my car after work and I turned on the AC. Oh, it's like 100 degrees every day here now, by the way, just for context. I turned on my AC and it was blowing hot air, and I was like, fuck, I live in here and it's hot as fuck outside, and there's just no way I can do that. I can tolerate most things, but, you know, literally waking up in a pool of my own sweat every day is just going to make keeping myself hygienic very, very hard. I went to AutoZone Saturday morning and picked up some refrigerant. I connected it to the low pressure side of the refrigeration system and turned on the car and turned on the AC, and it wasn't dropping any pressure or anything. It was actually like reading over pressured. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I looked into it, and my AC compressor wasn't working. And I was like, fuck. You know, because I really don't have the resources, like, to do an AC compressor myself. I could, but it's going to take the entire weekend, and I'm going to be doing it out in the blistering heat in a parking lot somewhere. And I was like, I really don't want to fucking do that. But it ended up just being a fuse in the engine compartment. Probably because I run the AC all the fucking time, especially when I'm sleeping at length for like 5 or 6 hours. So it's really no surprise that I blew one of the fuses. But good news is I don't have to fucking take my car to the shop and spend like $3,000. What else? I'm trying to keep this pretty short and sweet because I did have plans this weekend to go fishing with Jessica, and then she wanted to show me a bar she likes called Twin Peaks, which I'm pretty sure is named after that series/movie that David Lynch did. And then I wanted to show her my favorite movie, which is Underground. It's a 1995 film from Serbia, like right after the collapse of Yugoslavia, which is my favorite movie. It's fucking phenomenal. But it ended up being that she had to pick up her brother from the airport. He just flew back in from Mexico because his wife has passed. So, you have my thoughts and prayers, Enrique, if you watch this. I'm very sorry to hear that. Last night, I just got on Discord with the boys and played some Left 4 Dead 2. Drank a bottle of mezcal. Just a pint. I can't face a whole fifth anymore. I'm too old for that shit. But I went to the Mercado to get a Jarritos Limón, a lime Jarritos, and to drink with my mezcal. And I walk into the door, and there's these like 2 Mexican gang members standing right there, like blocking my entrance, and they're putting their hands together and making a gang sign and like talking shit to these people who are sitting over at the slot machine. I don't know, for people who have never been to Chicago, like gas stations, bars, like everywhere you go, there's a slot machine or there's like video poker. So there's some people in there doing that, and these people had gotten to like some sort of like verbal altercation with them, and they were talking shit at them. But I was like I was just going into the store to get my fucking Jarritos, you know? And they're just standing there, and I walk in, and one of them tells me to get the fuck out. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm getting my Jarritos. And so I had my sunglasses on, actually, which, to my benefit, doesn't really let you convey any sort of, like, fear in your face. So I walk in like this, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm just standing there. And then one of them's like, what, you want to fight? You want to fight? And then he like threw a fake punch like that, and I didn't even flinch. And then they just walked around me and left, and then they like continued to start talking shit like through the window to the people sitting. I don't know. It was fucking ridiculous. It was really, really funny though. I wish I knew more Spanish, so I could say something funny or witty, you know, which would probably incite some sort of physical altercation. But I don't know. I definitely need to start learning Muay Thai. But I've realized I don't really have a lot of time, you know. My schedule is so jam-packed with work and sleep. On the weekends, if I decide to do something like go fishing, it's pretty much the only thing I'm doing, because I spend Sundays doing my grocery shopping, doing the laundry, which I'm doing right now. And, you know, on the weekends I have to take my 2 showers that I take every week. So Saturday's pretty much the only day I have to do anything. And if I decide to go fishing, that's an all-day event, you know? So I want to take more singing lessons. I want to do martial arts or some sort of combat sport. There's a lot of things that I want to learn more Spanish. I want to make more progress through this book, you know? No la tengo la tiempo, güey. I don't have the time to do any of that shit, really. It's like if I decide to do anything Saturday. But it's fine. I'll figure out how to organize my schedule a little bit better. 12 weeks away from getting the truck, probably. Maybe 2 or 3 more weeks after that to get all of the stuff I need to outfit it and make it livable. That's about it. I'm gonna finish up my laundry, and then I need to move it over to the dryer, and then when it's in the dryer, I'm gonna go get my shopping done and drop my tools back off. And then when my clothes are dry and they're all folded and stuff, I'm actually gonna go over to Jessica's house. She's offered to make some sort of steak and potato dish. I thought she said steak and potatoes, and she asked me if I've had it, and I'm like, yeah, I've had steak and potatoes before. And then she was describing it, and she said she puts the steak in the potato, and then somehow like mayonnaise is involved, which sounds a little weird, but I'm excited to try whatever it is. You would really like her mom, because she's just constantly like, you need to sleep more, you need to eat more. I bet it's comforting for you to know that there's always someone's always momming me, you know? You don't have to do it all the way from Kentucky, because Jessica's got you covered. So yeah, that's about it. I think that covers everything. Well, that's about it. That's your update. Stay tuned for more updates, I suppose. See ya.